everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers.
And I'm Monica Hickey.
And this is Volume Up by the Tees.
I'm so glad to be back. Really what we learned is that the people wanted me back.
Oh, really? Is that what the data showed?
The data shows. No, just kidding. Jeffrey's on vacation, so I'm back here, short notice, as always. But I will tell you, since you saw me last, we had some really exciting, trending things happen.
Oh.
I hosted, are you ready for this?
Probably not.
A tomato party.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, okay, the people do. It's all over the internet. A tomato party is where you exclusively cook tomatoes.
Oh,
and then
God.
you decorate with tomatoes.
No.
And it's super aesthetic. It's super beautiful. It was the best day of my life. It was amazing. We'll definitely pop up some little photos like right here.
Why
of the tomato party.
Were your guests disappointed?
They were thrilled.
How many different ways can you cook a tomato?
Quote, I had no idea the tomato party would go so hard.
Okay. Were they starving?
No, it was delicious.
Okay,
we were all so full at the. Okay,
only
so
like
we made
plain tomatoes.
We made
or you
no.
could put them in a
It was
quiche
we
or
made
something?
recipes.
Oh,
So it was tomato cutlets with chicken cutlets with tomatoes on top.
What was that?
There was 2 different tomato salads. There was like a tomato pasta. There was
I thought it was
stuffed
just
tomatoes.
Literally tomatoes
No,
5
just
ways.
tomato recipes. It's very, very trendy, very, very popular. We'll let you know.
Okay.
But the thing that I actually wanted to
I wasn't invited.
I was like not here. But the thing that I really wanted to come to bring to the table for this podcast, specifically for you, Kelly, and for our audience, is that recently I got married. Great, yay, we've all seen the stuff,
know.
whatever.
We've heard about it, yeah.
But we were at a party, at an event, and my fiance went, I mean, you've been doing your hair the same for quite a while. You could mix it up.
Oh.
And so we are here to ask you, the listeners, and you, Kelly Ellers, what should be the next hairstyle? What should we do? Are we going bangs? Are we going country little bob? Are we going bright red? What do we think we should do?
Not the red.
No?
No. I think, what if you just chopped it?
Just chopped it.
Just chopped it right here, the snatched jawline, you got it.
Okay, do we go brunette? Do we stay blonde-ish?
I would like to see you go blonde.
Blonde? Yeah, you want it to be like
icy.
Yeah,
platinum-y.
it's just like not the style anymore. The style is like warm blonde.
Remember during COVID when I tried to go blonde? It's like, it was not good.
No. We shouldn't.
Was not a
cut.
good
No, just kidding. No, it was great. Well, thank you for your feedback. I do want to know in the comments, or maybe we'll put up a poll to say, like, what do the stylists think? Because, like, I value your opinion, but I really want to know.
But you don't listen
what
to
the
it.
stylists of Instagram think we should do for my new haircut coming soon. So let us know in the comments. Okay, instead of our celebrity photos and top stories today, we have a little bit of a game, because if you hadn't noticed, Kelly and I are in the same room. Yep. We're getting our Alex Cooper on a little bit here. And so as a result, we have a game. So one thing that's happening moving forward in every Hello Salon Pro box for the end of the year, there's going to be a little bit of a secret.
Okay.
The secret will be revealed next week, Tuesday. So stay tuned to the podcast to learn more about that. But in order to get us prepped for the secret, we have a little bit of a game. Ooh. So producer Cameron, could you bring my materials up for me, please?
Materials.
So in every single Hello Salon Pro box, there's going to be a treat and a specialized note from the Tees team that's signed by Kelly Ellers. So Kelly, during this next game, your job is going to be able to sign as many notes as possible with your signature while you're answering these Industry 101 questions.
I got it.
But the goal is as many as possible while answering these as in-depth as possible. I think you throw them at Cameron. She picks them up as we go. Okay?
Sorry about that.
Okay, so do we have the timer up? Fabulous, and the timer starts now. Kelly, this week is Cosmoprof Vegas. If you email basically anybody in the industry, you're gonna get an out-of-office response. It's a really big deal, but I don't think stylists really have visibility to what Cosmoprof Vegas is or why it matters for them. So how would you describe, or what is Cosmoprof Vegas from a stylist POV?
So it's a different show. There's not really stylists there.
Right.
It's more of a global show, I think, where brands are coming with the latest innovation from really more so, I'm supposed to be signing, more so than just hair care. So we're talking aesthetics, makeup, tools, and new technology. So it's a place for brands to showcase their newest innovation.
And showcase it to distributors, right? Because there's not really hairdressers there.
Buyers,
so the idea is that the people who are deciding what's going to be at your local distributor are there at the show kind of making these decisions for the next 2 to 3 years, basically. So how would you say it's like different than a hair show, right? There's not like hair being done on the stage floor,
There's
floor.
Not. No,
right.
I think it's quiet. You walk into a normal hair show and you're like, oh my gosh, overstimuli, because everybody's yelling and they're selling and there's so many things happening. So many things happening. This is more like one-on-one meetings with the distributors, with the brands. And so to me, it's kind of quiet, reserved.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to see other than the products.
So if you're a stylist, how does this like behind the scenes type of show impact your life in the future?
Oh, well, it's all the latest and greatest coming to the distributor, coming to your salon. So I think it greatly affects it because those buying decisions are being made there.
Yeah.
How are we doing?
You're doing really good. Keep going. What other behind the scenes aspects of the industry would a stylist not know about, but like really changes and like moves the industry forward?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the innovation. I think it's what's driving retail in the locations. Who are the latest and greatest from a reformulation and packaging perspective? I cannot do two things at once.
You cannot.
Oh!
Fabulous. Just a couple more questions. If you were talking to a student about to graduate from cosmetology school, what advice would you give them?
Ooh, I'd tell them to learn the extension market, to be honest. I think that that's a moneymaker that you could quickly make 6 figures easily. And I think it's growing in popularity. So definitely that. And then find yourself a good mentor. I mean, that's pretty classic information, but
I don't think so. I think the mentorship piece is huge because there used to be apprenticeships, and then a lot of people coming out of school are going right into a suite. So I think it's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, I think the bummer of it is that, now you're running your own small business. And like, have you ever done that before? So seek advice to be able to do that.
Totally. Okay, famously, Color Wow is a disruptor in the space. If you've been on social or TikTok in the last year, you see at least 1,000 Color Wow ads at all times, and they just were purchased by a huge beauty giant. When a brand gets purchased like that, what does that mean for the brand and what does that mean for the stylist?
Yeah, I mean, for the brand and the founders, hell yeah, payday, cash in, cha-ching, right? I mean, it's what we all want potentially is to get acquired. I think for the brand, the problem is the formulation. When you are sort of folded into a big giant like a L'Oreal, consumers might feel the formulation might change because of efficiencies across the scale. So we hope for Color Wow that we stay tried and true. It was viral for a reason. And congrats to the founders. Hell yeah. I hope they're on a yacht somewhere doing something.
Famously, as we've heard on this podcast, your mom was a salon owner for over 40 years.
Yes.
What is different about life as a salon owner in 2025 than when your mom owned a salon?
Drastically different. I mean, I think social changed the game, clearly. But then even from like a distributor perspective, I remember like my mom's rep would come in and like lay out all the new products and innovation. They got to touch them, they got to feel them. I think now, you're kind of off heading to one of the distributors and finding that out on your own. So I think product discovery and clientele.
Nice. Okay, last question, Kelly. How do you think a hair trend starts in 2025?
I mean, the talk, right? Isn't it the virality of it?
Sure.
Somebody does something crazy, a little different. Somebody makes up a name for it. Now we've got Cowboy Copper, we've got the cunty little bob, whatever it is, right? I think it starts on social.
Fabulous. Well, that is the end of the game. Thank you, Kelly. You've won. You won the game.
I won.
But really, you, our listeners and our Hello Salon Pro box subscribers have won the game. So make sure that you're subscribed for Hello Salon Pro so you can get a customized little treat from us and a note from Kelly. Those will be coming out starting next week.
Love it.
Okay, so who are we talking to this week on the interview?
This week, I'm talking with David Stanko,
okay,
also known as the Formula Boss. We're going to get into that.
Oh my God.
David is a licensed cosmetologist and one of the nation's top hair color experts. David has now joined ArtistOnGo as a spokesperson. We're going to get into that too, lending his industry authority and vision to a platform that aligns with his long-standing commitment to stylist empowerment, education, and innovation. It was a treat, the Formula Boss.
The Formula Boss. I mean, that's like quite a title. But now it's time for our other segment.
Yeah.
If they were a hairstyle. Ding, 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 ding. So we ask you, the host who interviewed the guest, every single week, if David were a hairstyle, what would he be?
I didn't even have to think about this one. And I think it's a mohawk.
Okay.
The
Does he have a
dude-
mohawk?
No, he does not. He's got a little bit of maybe a little fringe in the back.
Okay.
But that's not like a mohawk,
No, yeah.
obviously.
No.
Full of energy, like bopping, just like sharp, witty. You can see he has a little bit of a wild side and an innovator. So I like a mohawk for him. I hope he likes that for him too.
Fabulous. I think anybody would love to be described as a mohawk. So make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok, or at Read the Tease, and send questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Wait, that's my part.
Okay, before we get there, let's talk Tease beauty news.
All right. Biotop Professional Feed Your Ego event pairs superfoods and salon-grade hair care. Biotop Professional celebrated their site refresh by hosting a, quote, Feed Your Ego event in our headquarters here that highlighted their superfood-powered salon-grade hair care routines. The goal of, quote, Feed Your Ego was to bring together Midwestern hairstylists and consumer influencers to show them what's good for your body is also good for your hair. Sometimes I think we forget about that. Like what we consume affects our hair. Feed Your Ego highlighted 4 product lines, 911 quinoa, 700 keratin, and kale, 20 volumizing boosts, and 69 proactive curly. Of note, the 911 quinoa line is protein-rich, with 700 keratin and kale is full of antioxidants, 20 volumizing boost is packed with collagen, and the 69 proactive curly products are anti-inflammatory.
Sounds like I need some 911 when I go to the gym, right? That's the protein one. I'm here for that. But we both got to go to this event. It was really, really wonderful. What did you think?
I thought it was fantastic. Well done by the Tease team. A lovely atmosphere and environment to be in, but it was really cool. And it was such a great event. We have a little something for our listeners. To get 20% off Biotop products, you can go and find the secret code at thetease.com in our article.
I love a secret.
A little scavenger hunt for that code.
Let's go. So my article that we picked out today is actually from a contributor to the Tease called Daiti. And it's why clients leave their hairstylist, key reasons, and how to prevent it. So every hairstylist has experienced it. A loyal client suddenly stops booking appointments, leaving you wondering what went wrong. Client retention is critical for a thriving salon business, yet many stylists overlook the subtle factors. Understanding why clients leave and how to prevent it is essential for long-term success. So Daiti gathered a bunch of statistics and real-world examples in order to help stylists better understand what might be happening for them. I think this is a really big deal right now. Yeah. One, when you think about our students who are coming out of cosmetology school and going right to a suite concept, but then also to just in general, the way that some salon owners are less connected to their salons and people behind the chair. And so what you don't necessarily have is all of the right communications ahead of going into the salon of like, this is the time, this is what you should prepare for, this is how your hair should be, especially when people are coming and they're trying out a hairdresser for the first time. I've been with my hairdresser for over 10 years, but a lot of times when I'm in her chair, there's people around me in the salon who are coming to a hairdresser for the first time. Yeah. And like the number of times I want to be like, pause, like everybody stop and like go whisper something to the hairdresser to be like, they don't understand you, or like they don't know what's happening right now is huge. So there's a huge education gap from consumers of what they should do or what they should know about when they go into a salon. And then there's an education gap with stylists who think everybody just kind of knows this, right? It's a really
terminology,
experience expectations. You know, I literally was in the chair the other day and somebody came in with like hair as dark as yours and they were like, they showed a picture and they're like, I want to be blonde. And like, it was a young stylist. I think she is like 2 to 3 years out of school.
Yeah.
And she just like went pale. She just was like, I don't even know what to say to this person, right? But that's like not an opportunity for repeat customer unless you're educating. So I think this is a huge important topic. I think everybody should go to thetease.com and read our article about it because I think it's going to really change your business if you can really identify what the challenge is and then also how do you come back to that to impact it in a positive way.
Love that.
So anyways, thank you so much to our contributors and editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories on thetease.com.
Next up, my interview with David. David Stanko, also known as the Formula Boss, is a licensed cosmetologist and one of the nation's top hair color experts. With a career spanning decades in both startups and leading industry giants, he's pioneered education and product innovation in color, care, and styling across the globe. Stanko's experience lies in developing and launching professional hair care products, designing curriculum for salon professionals, and leading high-impact global training initiatives. He is also the author of Formula Boss, Volumes 1, 2, and 3, and Color Conversions Made Easy, and the creative mind behind Lifestyle Coloring, a forward-thinking training DVD. His technical guides, artist education programs, and vendor partnerships have made him a sought-after voice in LA and NYC's top salons. His accolades include 3 Haircolor USA awards for the most inspirational and best educator, as well as positions on the Intercoiffure American-Canadian Hair Color Council and the American Board of Certified Master Haircolorists. He is a Hall of Fame honoree at both the Pittsburgh Beauty Academy and PAPSA. David has now joined ArtistOnGo as a spokesperson, lending his industry authority and vision to a platform that aligns with his long-standing commitment to stylist empowerment, education, and innovation. All right, David, welcome to Volume Up by the Tees. We are so excited to have you. Thanks for making the time.
It is my pleasure to be here. I see you guys on Instagram. I have friends you've interviewed. Yay, it's our turn together.
Yay, it's our turn. All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about your background, your career. You've been in the beauty business for decades, which congrats. It's hard to leave once you're in it, isn't it?
Well, I've had a very sort of varied career, so I'm a lifer. I'm here for life.
I love it. So about that career, you've worked for both startups and leading industry giants. Can you tell us a little bit more about your journey so far? Like what brought you into the industry to start?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't have a cute story like I cut my Barbie doll's hair or the neighbors came over for clipper cuts. It's none of that.
Yeah.
I have a sister named Roselle who went to beauty school and I saw what she did and I thought, oh, I'm at a sort of a place of decision. I could do that. So I started working in a salon and assisting, and
Okay.
I had a friend in another salon who was doing way more than I was. I was like holding end papers to this guy named Jerry that was doing pin curls beautifully.
Ooh, pin
And
curls.
oh man, he was freaking masterful. So
Love.
yeah, I got into hair. I assisted salon owners in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Don and Larry. I'm still very good friends with them. But there came a time, this is the turning point. There came a time I was assisting and I looked around and there were these beautifully well-dressed hairdressers, busy book, well appointed. But in my mind, I thought they were punching in, doing a book full of clients and punching out. And I thought, there's got to be more to this. And so there was a company called Italy Hair Fashion that came around and said, hey, we're going to do educator training. Anyone interested?
That guy, you. I love that. That's incredible. In talking about this training and your career, what was that like from an education experience? Like, how did that sort of help you leapfrog in the industry and get ahead?
It did. I sort of learned the power of networking from the very
Mm-hmm.
beginning and also learned the difference between assertive and aggressive as it
Okay.
relates to making connections with people. But I really enjoyed education. I was the assistant in the salon that said, we need a policy and procedure manual for
Oh boy.
proper shampoo, right? Like I was that guy. So I just got into it and thought it was interesting, and just one led to the next, and here I am.
Here you are. What do you think that you're most known for? Let's hear it.
I think hair color,
Okay.
and I think being a pretty good presenter that can take sort of complicated theories and questions and distill them to an understandable, easy to listen format.
I love that. And very helpful from an education perspective, right? The key, if you will. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about you've recently joined Artist on Go. And for those that might not be familiar with it, can you break down how Artist on Go works and how it's different essentially from a traditional salon rental or the leasing models?
Sure. So Artist on Go started in 2021, 2 people that are well known in the business. They looked around and they went, okay, salons are closing.
Yeah.
Big salons are becoming medium salons. Small salons are not expanding. And we have all of these creative people that want a sense of community. Where can we help place them? So
Okay.
Artist on Go is all about partnering a salon that has the chairs and the space and the desire to welcome someone new,
Okay.
and a salon pro that's looking for a home.
I love that. Simply stated and so powerful, right? Because those were trying times. And it's, even from like a solo artist, where do you go to have that community? Certainly you can rent a space, but that doesn't mean the community comes with it, right?
No, that's a great point because, hairdressers, we're like a tribal group
Yeah.
in our DNA. And it's fun to be around other people, like, oh,
Yeah.
what did you do? I love her formula. What's happening? So we want a sense of community for sure. And
Yeah.
AOG helps do that.
Okay, AOG, the platform. I mean, what kind of stylist is going to thrive with that? And what advice would you give someone that was considering going independent? Is this a better solution?
Well, I don't know if I'm in a place to say better
Okay.
solution, but I think it's an alternative
Okay.
because hairdressers are always looking for new now next. And some folks are either bored with where they are or they're ready for the next evolution.
Sure.
So, who is the person that's prime for this? Here's a great example. I lived in New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Now
Yeah.
that I'm in LA, I've never lived anywhere where the closer you are to your location, the longer it takes to get there. And
Yeah.
here's how that's relevant. There are hairdressers that may have started their career in Venice Beach
Yeah.
and now they want to move to Beverly Hills or West Hollywood. It's not that far distance wise, but it can take you 45 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to find an artist on go salon in Venice for a couple days a week, see your clients that help build your book, but you also have customers on the west side, which is West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and you can find a location there to service your customers.
So smart. I love that. What drew you to AOG?
Yeah. So I've known DM, who's one of the founders,
Okay.
and Pat Parenti DM I've known for years, and we've always chatted and sort of would call each other and say, have you heard? Did you know? And then Pat Parenti was a big boss at L'Oreal in New York. And I
Okay.
am a big fan of his, as he is of mine. And I thought, and this is where the interesting beauty thing comes in. This is where networking comes in. I thought if Pat's involved in this, I should look at it.
Okay. And how
And
does that align, yeah, with your mission to empower and educate stylists?
I'm a new now next guy too. I've been in the business for 39 years.
Wow.
So I'm always looking for what's fresh and new. What
Okay.
I like about AOG is you don't have to be Gen Z to navigate the app. You
Okay.
can be my age, my contemporaries, and it's still easy to follow. And even if it isn't easy to follow, you have a grandkid, you have a daughter, a son, a colleague that can help you navigate.
I love that. Let's talk about independent stylists. And what do you think is propelling the rise of independent stylists in our industry today?
Creative freedom.
Mm, okay.
I think that those folks want freedom
Hmm.
and they don't want the restraints of you have to be here 9 to 5 and sit around until the walk-in comes in or,
Sure.
put this inventory away or get me some coffee. I think it's about freedom. We're creative
Yeah.
people and we like to have our freedom. Did you know, this is actually very interesting, that as we sit here today, the AOG people tell me that today the hairdresser wants to work about 27 hours a
Wow.
week.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's like
Okay.
3 days. So as
Yep.
an independent, you got to find somewhere to go that jives with you in order to fit that need.
Yeah. What do you think are some of the pros and cons regarding the rise of independent stylists? Like, where do you stand on the topic?
Yeah, years ago there was a big divide. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, booth renters, oh, we don't
Yeah.
like you. But now everything has evolved. So, the pros are freedom. The
Hmm.
pros are your own schedule. If you partner with AOG, you can find a space for a couple hours or a couple days a week or a couple weeks a month or become a long-term renter. So the pros
Okay.
are flexibility, the pros are community, because if you're in a booth renting situation, and here comes the con, it's just you and your client.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I don't love that. I want to see what you're doing. I want to see the lady with the dog that took it off the leash and now she's driving everyone crazy in
Love.
the salon. And I think, honestly, I think the biggest con to booth renter is you don't have an influx of education.
Okay.
You don't have an influx of variety. And clients like to come to salons to see the drama. They like to see what's going on with your colleagues and other clients.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a stat here that said 91% of stylists now work independently, which is wow. That's changed drastically in a handful of years, right? Are there certain ways that AOG is supporting that evolution?
Well, they've been created since
Yeah.
2021. I think that's a huge step. You know, they're the OG in this space. It started in New
Mm,
York. It moved to Miami. Now, you know, I helped launch it here in Southern California.
cool.
So now it's a nationwide thing. So what they're doing is they sort of spied on what the trend is, and they
Okay.
thought, oh, there's some white space. We can help do this.
Yeah, I like that. So on the platform, you have AI assistants, Zoe and Ashley, and they're a game changer. What's the real world impact that you've seen from integrating this kind of tech into the platform, into salon operations?
So I always say like AOG can help you from A to Z, from A to Z, and that's
Okay.
Ashley to Zoe. And that
Love.
is the AI technology that's very smart. So as a hairdresser, you're going to hang out with Ashley. You're going to tell her how many days you want to work, how many
Okay.
hours, what location. Well, I want upscale or funky or, you know, these are
Huh.
the things I want. And she helps to collect all of that and then runs behind the scenes and talks to Zoe, and Zoe's like the sales manager for the salon, where the owner puts in like minimum 25 questions. And Zoe's
Okay.
like, oh, we found the location, the time, the vibe, where you want to be. Now let's date. Let's match you two up and see what happens.
I love that. So it's so smart. So cool. That's all happening on the back end, right? And you get that nice options presented to you. It takes a lot of that, well, all the guesswork out, right?
Listen, I have salespeople that come to me in LA all the time, and the salespeople say, oh, this salon owner wants to know if I know anyone who wants to rent a chair.
Yeah, I
So, I
see.
mean, it's been going on. Now, this just makes it a little more efficient.
Yeah, absolutely. What's some of the feedback that you're hearing with stylists that are using AOG or joined, I should say?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting question. And I'll be honest with you. The stylists that are into it enjoy a new space. And for
Hmm.
many people, it's become like a permanent renting home. It's sort of
Oh,
like, okay, an Airbnb that every summer you rent in the Hamptons or
yeah,
Fire Island or Palm Springs. You know it, you like it, it works for you. So they're
cool.
really, really enjoying it. Some of the pain points, though, from a salon owner standpoint,
Yeah.
in a
Hmm.
certain city, you can only have so many salons. What you need is
Sure.
volume of hairdressers that want to move around. So
Yeah.
some of the salon owners are like, why don't I have a renter yet? And it's like, well, it hasn't caught on yet. You know, some
Yeah.
folks, like in LA, people don't want to drive 3 miles because it's a 30-minute commute, but it's there for them to navigate through should they choose.
I love that. What about from a salon owner's perspective? I mean, is it solving a problem of certainly empty chairs, right, in the salon, but it's turning into a revenue stream for those salon owners? What's that feedback? I mean, I'm sure it's all positive.
Yeah, well, again, it's a mixed bag. You know, at the end of the day, it's positive because if you build out this big salon, you have 3 or 4 full-time people, but you have 8 or 10 chairs available, it
Sure.
kills you to see those go vacant. So the challenge for the salon owner has been, oh, I'm not sure if I want someone new to come in here. I'm
Ah,
not sure if I like this person. What if they complain about the music, etc.? And that's where Ashley
mm,
and Zoe do all that work for you. But here's the best part, the salon owner has full control. So they
yeah.
can look at your profile, how you filled it in, and they can say yes or no.
Okay. Where do you think AOG is headed in the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh my gosh. They're
That's a
the
hard one.
it is it's you know what, because in today's world with tech, it's like, can we even look at 5 years or 10
Right.
years, right? So I would say they're the OG in this space, and I would imagine others will come along and start to, you know, do the same type of stuff in this space. But
Okay.
ultimately, I hope that they become more busy and more of a tool and more valuable to our community because it has all changed.
Great. Where can our listeners find out more about AOG?
Just go on to AOG.com. And the best thing is just tool around in there.
Yeah.
You know, put in some info. You might get a message or two, but the only way to find out is to play around a little bit.
Yeah. I love it. What a cool OG to the space. I love that. And wishing certainly the brand so much success. Now we're going to flip the tables a little bit. We're going to talk about Formula Boss. What's Formula Boss? Please educate us.
Formula Boss is a trademarked moniker, another name that I developed back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
I was at the time a full-time employee of the Redken brand in New York, and
Okay.
in large part, my job was to create the A plus B equals C. I'm starting here. These are the results I want of color. Give me a formula. And times were
Wow.
very different then. People went to hair shows. They asked questions in the audience. They wanted to know, how did you achieve that look? So the formula boss came along because a boss is a leader, is an authority, is someone
Yep.
that, hopefully, at least my definition, someone that you hope to look up to. And
Yep.
I did all of that with formulas, with hair color formulas.
I love that. So there's books, right? Talk to me about the books.
Yeah, there were books.
There
I
were
can
books.
still say author is part of my credentials.
I like
But
it.
here's the thing, Kelly, the way companies have line extensions, discontinue color
Yeah.
enlighteners, bring out new technology, it's almost like as soon as the ink is dry, some of this stuff
Yeah.
is obsolete. But we're going back to the early 2000s through 2007 or 8 when and I had worked for the Redken brand full time for about 10 years at that point. So I
Okay.
intimately developed and knew the products. And so this was a time where I wrote a book that said, if you're a natural level 5 and 60% gray and you want to be a chocolate, streaming, milk, frothy, beautiful highlight, here's what you would do. And
Oh,
I gave user tips because
wow.
what good is a formula unless I say do this, don't do that, be careful with this. So it was wildly successful. I had 3 volumes of those books.
I love that. What are some of the products that you've developed throughout your career?
Ay, 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 ay. Um, I have done a lot of line extensions with
Okay.
Color Fusion. I was part of the R&D team. This is with the Redken Group, part of the
Okay.
R&D team that helped to renovate Shades EQ
Oh,
and
wow.
color gels and Lift 515 and up to 7 and gray coverage in um, color fusion called Cover
Huh.
Fusion. And then we also developed color for other countries. So we had a Japanese color fusion version, and that
Huh.
was working with the German brands and how do they like it and what's the flavor of. Then we had like Shimmer One, Shades EQ Cream, HD Color, which I launched in Mexico. So a whole bunch of that stuff, and Chemistry System and some hair care products as well.
Okay, that's just a couple things, casual, right?
I
What?
have to say, though, I have to give myself props, Kelly. I'm sorry for
Do.
interrupting.
No.
Helping to develop 10-minute color for the Paul Mitchell brand was one of the biggest feathers in my cap. Um,
Wow.
I intimately, it was a beautiful, and it's a beautiful product.
That's a big deal. So, feather and cap for sure. And you mentioned Redkin, Paul Mitchell, Madison Reed. Are there any other moments with these clients that stand out to you?
Oh boy. Yes, there are.
Yeah.
With the L'Oreal group, it was like getting your undergrad, your master's, another master's in people, politics, and products.
Mm,
And that carried with me through other stuff. And I'll say in my career, some of the brands were amazing with very savvy marketers, and others weren't.
yeah.
Others were just a bunch of mean girls and mean boys and tough to get your point across. It's like, what do you mean it's equal parts? Well, it's
Yeah.
equal parts. I know you might want 1 to 1.5, but it's not formulated that way.
Right.
So I just think, I'm very blessed with my career. I know a lot of people, and I've done a lot of work behind the scenes for some of the bigger brands that I can't talk about. But I've done a lot of work with third-party manufacturers and a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
I love that. That's great. So, we all know hair coloring. It's a big deal these days. It's always been. And a lot of people are particular about their look. How do you suggest someone goes about finding a colorist or hairdresser in today's world?
Yeah, great question. I think it's all about being aware. If you're looking for a new barber or hairdresser, at the gym, at the bar, at the coffee shop, if there's someone whose hair you like,
Yeah,
ask them. Because there's
great
nothing
point.
we like better as a hairdresser, which is to know that somebody complimented our work and we want to get a new client. It's all
Yeah,
about referral and recruitment.
I love that. What about a consultation before the actual color appointment? What's your thought?
Yeah. So I am a fan of it. Here's what I would
Mhm.
say. If you go through that criteria, which I'd throw social media into finding a good
Sure.
hairdresser or a colorist as well, it's almost like, of course you do, but I think it's worthy of saying. So, if you find a salon that you like, walk in, check out the vibe. And here, a few things might happen. You walk in, and you're interrupting the receptionist from their phone and they just look up at you.
Yeah.
Might not be what you like. You could walk into another place where they say, "Welcome. How did you hear about us? Let me give you a little tour of the salon." So,
Nice.
regardless of how that goes, if they offer manicures, schedule a manicure or schedule a blow dry with someone you like and be an observer
Huh.
and
I
see,
like
do
that.
I like the vibe of this? Yeah, that's what I would do
Hmm.
if you're looking for some new dream teams.
I love that. That's really smart. Just observe, right? Culture, fit, and even the looks that are coming out of the salon, right? Because you're like, do we like that? Can I see myself in the chair?
Right.
All right. So, as an educator, we're going to go back to that. What tips can you give future stylists or colorists to help them grow their skills and their business?
Oof.
We could be here a while for that, right?
Yeah, you have to find classes to go to.
Okay.
You have to ask at Salon Centric and Cosmoprof and even Sally, look, is there anything being promoted? Find someone whose work you really like and
Yeah.
see if they represent a brand and go to that brand's education. So much is online right now. You have to look at this through the filter of, people are doing techniques for 30 seconds on social media. You got to get it that, there's something different. Biggest thing, Kelly, find a hands-on workshop. There
Okay.
is nothing better than someone to stand over your shoulder and say, not like that,
Oh.
not like that,
Mm-hmm.
too much hair, slow down. I mean, that's the best way to learn.
Huh. I love that. I feel like you're a lifelong learner. Are there any aspects of the industry that you want to learn about now, or what's on your mind? What do you find interesting?
Yeah. So I'm on the development side a bit
Yeah.
more right now, working with
Okay.
brands and contract manufacturers and stuff. I find regulatory to be interesting,
Mm.
which is like the legal part. Like, hey, you
Yeah.
need warnings on your product. You can't put that under heat. You have to do a strand test. The
Yeah.
regulatory piece is getting bigger and bigger in our business. I also love learning about ingredients,
Okay.
what is in favor and what's sort of on the list that we have to formulate out of.
Okay.
Um, I just like products.
Hmm.
I'm the guy that goes into Sephora and Ulta and like pokes around and it's
You
like,
do? That's
oh my
awesome.
gosh, yeah. I still have all these points at Sephora. They always ask me at the checkout, "You ready to
Yeah.
cash those in?" And I'm like, I don't need a lip balm,
I hate that. Side note. Same. I don't want a little trial something something.
Give me like $5 off my ticket. And
Right. Well, but you got the points. Someday, maybe you'll have a Sephora branded car with all those points.
right.
Are there any segments of our industry that you think are being impacted more in particular or not by the increased use of technology?
Yeah, I do. Here's one great example. Swatch books. We love
Mm.
them, we hate them, we lose them, but there are vendors that are going to a digital format
Okay.
swatch books. And that is using technology to be a bit more modern. The
Okay.
challenge with that is
Right.
everyone's phone, iPad, computer reads color a little bit differently. I
Yeah.
am old school. I want a swatch book that I can open and take out and hold up and
Put
look and
here.
all
Yeah.
that. That's right. That's right. So I think that's one of the ways in a real world example. And then everything
Okay.
else is like booking apps. It's using technology for makeovers, changing people's hair color,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Okay, as we wrap up, I need you to give some advice. So, in your opinion, what is the best way to empower stylists today?
To listen to them,
Okay.
to mentor them without ego,
Okay.
and to be available. There's a quote. Stephen Covey was this
Yeah.
motivational speaker guy, and in 1989, he created the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yep.
The
Read it.
fifth habit speaks to this, which is seek first to understand, then to be understood.
Ah,
So
that's
when I'm
great.
talking to you, I want to hear what's in your head. I want you to
Yeah.
get it out of your system. I want you to puke on me, what you're upset about, what you're not. I want to understand you first before I can take a step back and say, well, have you tried this? Maybe we can change your hours. Maybe we can get you
Okay.
some education. Maybe we can help build, let's look. So it's about understanding first.
I love that. Okay, where can everyone follow the Formula Boss at?
So on Instagram, I'm probably most active, and I'm
Okay.
at the David Stanko, David Stanko, and I do some of my own little podcasts called Formula
Oh,
Boss.
lovely.
So I talk to chemists, I talk to makeup artists, film directors. Probably one of my most favorite, Kelly, you ready for this? One of
Yeah.
my favorite interviews is a retired gay porn star.
Well, that would be interesting. That would be a lot.
And he is candid and unfiltered, and it was a phenomenal interview. But
Interesting.
Instagram is where I'm most active.
All right. Okay, as we round out, we have this little segment that we call the Tease Quick Takes. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, what's the craziest styling request that you've ever received from a client or celebrity?
Oh my God. I think it was doing a big celebrity in their bedroom where everything was white, white,
Mm,
white, white. And I'm doing a touch up, and the request was, please don't get color on anything.
that's fair. And did you?
I didn't, but I ruined this amazing Italian dress shirt that I had to like
Oh,
sacrifice for the whole thing. It was awful.
oh my goodness. The things we do. All right. What's your go-to song, playlist, or podcast to listen to when you're like in the zone working?
I don't do it when I'm in the zone working. I do it
Okay.
in my car.
All
So
right.
big fan of like Depeche Mode, Alison Moyet. Sunday mornings, I love Anita Baker. That just brings me up and gets me super like hyped to go to the farmer's market or know
Yes.
the place.
I love that. What is the current social media trend that you just don't understand or it needs to go away?
Oh, how about I don't know who needs to hear this,
Oh,
but like, oh, I don't need to hear this.
we don't need to hear it. All right. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Love.
Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, no one has ever said that. And that's very touching. I love it. I love to love that. Well, this has been a real treat. Congratulations on your storied, incredible career and all of the things that you have accomplished. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kelly. And as I always sign off, I say happy coloring.
Happy coloring.
And we're back. How that interview was so good.
Mohawk.
Mohawk. I see the Mohawk. I see the Formula Boss. I'd let him boss
see
my
the
formula.
boss.
I don't know
Same.
what that means, but you know.
A great interview, full of wealth and knowledge. And think about all the products that he has innovated, working behind the scenes with many, many color brands.
Absolutely. What a cool job. All right, before we wrap up today's episode, I told you a little bit about it, but we have something to get you buzzing. So next Tuesday, we're dropping one of the biggest episodes of our year or of our show. I can't say too much about it, and I won't be here, so it'll be Kelly and Jeff back in your feed. But let's just say it's a major, major launch to hit the salon professional world, and you're not going to want to miss it. So go ahead, mark your calendars for next Tuesday. Make sure that you're subscribed wherever you listen to podcasts because you don't want to miss this drop. Until then, keep slaying behind the chair and stay tuned.
And be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arbaje is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to the creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and putting together graphics for this episode.